What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Rivian. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the current data points, what is really prompting it to go higher today, and if it's justified or not. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So at the time of doing this video, it is up 3.19%. 6.8 million shares have been traded so far in the first 1 hour of the trading day. 39 is the average. So today is going to be a little bit low for the volume. And this is why I like to look at what the data is saying, because if we look right here, there's only been 5 transactions above $100,000 on the secondary market. So a lot of the volume being done today is AI, so algorithmic trading and all the other fun jazz. Sometimes that's not always the best because it moves the stock, obviously in correlation to what it wants, but it doesn't really have the strong support levels that you really need, because let's say AI is turned off, well, guess what? There's no support in Rivian and many other stocks, so it is just going to tank. So in reality, it's not necessarily the best. It does kind of have a very exciting day such as this, and the reason why AI is buying is because of this. PMI came out a little bit lower than anticipated, so 50.9, so that still does show and signal that the market is expanding, because typically anything higher than 50 does indicate that, but it is lower than the forecast. So it is all surrounding optimism associated to rate cuts. Literally, that is it. And I do believe PMI hasn't been this low in the last 4 months, if I remember correctly. So all in all, the market's taken this as a epic green positive thing ultimately, and it's actually even helping the fear and greed index. So previously, even yesterday, I think it was like at 31, 32, so now it is at 40. So people's appetite for risk is very much going up. As of late, the only meaningful piece of news did come out yesterday at 1 a.m. So kind of crazy for that, but it was this right here. So 𝗪𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧, a mining electric vehicle company, and Rivian partner to revolutionize light fleets across the mining industry. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't actually give a timeline, so most likely it'll probably be the later part of this year, or if not 2025, but I really like this part right here. So the Rivian R1T is the only pickup truck, electric or otherwise, in the United States to earn the Top Safety Pick Plus award from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. So ultimately, Rivian is a kick-ass vehicle. I think a lot of us do generally know that. And hopefully with their upcoming earnings right around the corner, management and RJ will be able to kind of reiterate that, hey, we have a lot of demand and like things are going to get better. So that's just my opinion, of course, not a financial advisor. As of late, there hasn't been any recent analyst ratings. So last one was still done about 4 days ago. Maintain $10 price target. Barclays, Dan Levy, who has a 43% success rating. And then aside from that, you had $13, 5 days ago, $13 price target. Needham, Chris Pierce, who has a kind of jokingly 29% success rating. So very interesting how things are turning out. Tesla also does have their earnings after hours today, so no doubtably that is going to really shock the broader market and specifically the EV sector. So we'll just have to wait and see what does come from all of that. But like I said, I think Rivian has been laying a very good foundation, and these prices are absolutely crazy, because just to give you a good overview, as what I've said in previous videos, market cap is 8.59 billion. And based on their last earnings, financials, you can kind of see cash and cash equivalents, just to look on the quarter. So they had about 7.8 billion. And if you factor in short-term investments, 9.3 billion. So logically, they have more cash than their market cap. And of course, let's say they burnt about 1.1 billion in this last quarter, which we'll probably find out sooner rather than later. I think in a couple of weeks from now, 2 weeks. So ultimately, like the market cap, even right now, despite it being up 3.41%, is solely just cash and short-term investments. That is crazy. There's not much kind of stocks like that in the broader market. So I think it is just a matter of time before a lot of value investors do rush towards Rivian, but we'll just have to wait and see. As far as what shorts are doing, they're increasing 1.01 million shares. So today is officially a all-time high, or a new all-time high short interest of 20.01%. So this is why, again, I like to look at the true data. So today, even though very exciting, I don't want to kind of make it seem like it's unjustified, but by shorts increasing and just big money not necessarily buying, it kind of shows still some level of hesitation. And of course, just with shorts doubling, or not doubling down, but increasing, still shows some weakness, if that makes sense. So utilization is 72%, cost to borrow average is 1.05%. You do see some signs of manipulation. So cost to borrow minimum is negative, so negative 0.2%, meaning there is a broker out there physically paying people to short Rivian, as messed up as that is. Short interest does equate to $1.21 billion worth of shorts out there. So kind of crazy. At least Rivian is bouncing off of its lows made a couple days ago, but shorts are still very much doubtful, and this is why they are increasing. Looking at some other data points, starting off with options, tons of money is getting into Rivian. First thing, like I said, the market's been only open about 1 hour, and 3.22 million in calls, 5.05 million in puts. Sentiment wise, most of the options being done are just to collect premiums, so it is neutral, 53% in fact. So most likely a lot of it was oriented around that $9 strike, so we'll just wait and see for that. Of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be above roughly about $9.50/$10 in the next couple of weeks, and even encumbering their earnings, you see it roughly above that $10 mark. So maybe that might be a pivot for that. And then looking at puts, you do see a consensus for it to be sub roughly $8.50. So these are the individuals clearly betting that it is going to maybe trend down. We'll just have to wait and see. But aside from that, big money hopefully starts to catch on and look at Rivian a little bit more as what they have been over the last couple days. So yesterday was very abnormal. Even after hours, there was a lot of transactions, even one big one, so 9.08 million. So big money is looking at Rivian. And just to give you a quick overview, so looking at the latest holders of Rivian, based on Q1, of course, you do see the big names such as Vanguard did increase 9.69 million, BlackRock 1.94 million, and actually I'll just go right here at the last reported. So as of March 31st, obviously, so Q1. So mostly everyone did increase. For the most part, you do see a couple stragglers that didn't really increase, such as First Trust. You also had Nico, if I'm saying that right. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about Rivian in the future, so we'll just have to wait and see what does come from that. Clearly, shorts do disagree with me. Dark pool, though, very active today. So dark pool is often enough linked to shorting and just large institutions. So that exchange is a little bit more popular today. Right now, just looking on the chart itself, so with it at $9.09, it is still trading between this S3 and this S2. So I'm looking at the 1-day chart as well, so you can kind of see. So these are very strong support and resistance points. So $8.37 will be the strong support, and then $9.62 will be the next strong target. Just to move to the 4-hour, just to give you short-term viewpoint on that. So with it at $9.10, it's basically $9.25 will be the next strong resistance, and then vice versa, just watch for this $9.03. It was looking like it wanted to break down, but that $9.03 was kind of the saving grace. On the actual chart itself, still lower percentile of the Bollinger Band, but with the 50-day moving average roughly around the $11 range, assuming it can transition into the higher, it can easily go up. So I do kind of agree with a lot of the bullish call options that are being purchased. You do see a nice bullish deviation, so white line above the red, and stochastic is at 21, so that is considered oversold. So if there's a good piece of news that does continue to come out, you will see more and more value investors and institutions getting into Rivian. A number of retail investors have been getting in over this last couple of days. So let me know your thoughts on Rivian. Like I said, technically it's a very exciting day. A lot of the data points do signal that it's not really justified, but obviously by it getting and assuming it can stay above these key support points, then institutions should really back up and kind of make these support points at that stage, but we'll just have to wait and see. Let me know your thoughts on Rivian. Give yourself a shout out if you've been buying, if you've been selling, what have you been doing with Rivian? And one final thing, make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7. So a pretty kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.